I can tell you I was huffing and puffing after I shot that because I had to hop back and forth, and it was very hard on my body, if you will, for some reason. Old age, I guess. Welcome. What a month have we had in this hobby? I Holy shit, this is insane. Um and not the hobby, not just the hobby, but pro wrestling in general. I mean, Peacock took over the network. Now the network is being edited. There are things that can't be found. Some people can't get into their accounts. Some people's stuff is expiring. Then you have WWE shutting down pages left and right for the hobby, the stuff that we collect. They're shutting everything down. You have to have a blur. You got to blur out the logos. And there's a lot to talk about. Scammers, apparently. There's also scammers. There's potential people reporting everyone. I'm confused. And the reason why I'm confused is because we're grown men and women. I said this in a post the other day. We're grown men and women. There's no reason for us to be acting like fools, right? But yet here we are. Now, before we get started, because we're going to talk about all of this here in the episode that is the block logo European, because for some reason, if we use the logos, we can get shut down. We can say it. I don't know if we can say it. Someone down there tell me, can we say it or not? No one knows. Maybe. I don't know. But if we can say it, avoid it. Yep. I'm being told by the producer to avoid even saying. Michael Hollandcheck. Mwah. Good evening, my brother Max Rivera. Baby, what's going on? So, Ethan, let's go, baby. Yeah, sure. Why not? You know what? I'm the world's best boss. This is getting ridiculous now. Drew, my man, love this guy. How you doing, bro? Happy Friday. So, Mike Patullo, good evening, my good sir. The drama and BS didn't need to happen. No, Michael, it did not. And we will be speaking about all of that. What's up, Tyler? Because I feel like there is a lot of attention on us right now. John, what's going on? How you doing, baby? Happy Friday. Happy Friday. There's a lot of bullshit that's going on. And I said this in a post, and I'm going to talk with my first guest about it. But I said there is a lot of BS going on, and it doesn't stop. We won't have this anymore. I was joking, and I said Backpage. Remember Backpage? That, you get all the prostitutes and all that stuff on there and all that jazz. People know about Backstage. I don't know about Backpage, but they took it away. They can take this stuff away too. So we're going to jump into this right away with my first guest. He snuck his way into another episode of Get the Strap because, he is who he is. He is the highest paid janitor in the United States right now. One of the most handsome men in the great state of California, Mr. Ethan Thompson. Baby, how you doing?
What's good? What's going on? How we living?
It's Friday, puppy. It's Friday.
So long Friday too, man. I needed this Friday.
It's been, and I think you and I can agree that the hobby has stressed the hell out of us. Right?
Bro, exhausting. Like, I've been in it 10 minutes, I know, but dude, exhausting.
Do what we enjoy, collecting bottles of BS that they're trying to do. Tyler, I agree. Exactly, I agree to a certain point. Ethan, speaking of the 10 minutes of the hobby that you just mentioned, how long have you actually been in this crap?
About a year and a half. Right at a year and a half. Just before COVID.
Do you regret coming into this?
Yes and no. Yes, because I didn't think I've never been involved in a hobby that had this much drama. Ever. What up, Mike? What up, Drew? Yeah, I've never been in a hobby, Tyler, that had this much drama. It's kind of mind boggling.
Right? I find it that it's something so simple and yet it's complicated to a point that it doesn't need to be complicated at all. You
Agreed.
like a belt, you buy it, you show it to other people, and that's it.
Yep.
Right? So now tell me about the first belt that you got when you came in the hobby.
WWE Shop Winged
Huh.
Eagle.
Glad, I'm glad I can do that.
Had no idea this whole thing existed.
The
Just wanted.
Shop Winged Eagle.
Yep.
Did you get it on sale? Did you pay full price?
I paid full price.
Mm-hmm.
I just had no idea this whole thing existed. And about a month later, I stumbled onto a Balor Fan 85 review, and started digging, and then it's rock and roll history now.
And to have such a short amount of time in the hobby, right? I've been in the hobby, I would say 13 years. My sister had a lot to do with that. But being in the hobby for so long, there are things that I have no clue about and I ask you for. And now, why is that? What do you do on your normal time? What do you do when you're not immersed in the hobby? Do you research things? What makes you so knowledgeable in such a short amount of time?
COVID. I mean, living in California, we're on perpetual lockdown the whole time. Like, you know, other states have lived free, and so I mean, we can't do indoor dining. We can't do anything yet. We're just starting to get to that point. So I just did a lot of research on what I wanted, because the belts that I wanted to buy, I wanted to make sure were exactly how I wanted, what I wanted. So
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. And let me tell you something, bro. I'm going to be honest with you because I'm trying to keep it professional. But if you guys didn't know, me and this guy, we literally have 5 of us. They're like the best friends. And we shower. The thing is, I'm trying to keep it professional, but you know the truth. You change belts more than you change your fucking underwear. Like, how many BMFs have you had? Be honest here with the people and tell them why.
So I'm gonna be honest with the people. I've had 3. So the first one I had, I did the review on, and a kind soul that was made a comment. The stitching was off on about an inch of the belt, so I sent that back. Got another one. It came in. There was chips in the main plate. Sent that back. Got another one, so now I got another one up there. You know, so I'm on my 3rd.
Ethan,
I'm picky, bro.
You're not gonna tell this people. You know what? I'm not even gonna get into it. That's a private story. I'm not gonna get into it.
Oh no, that it's going back. I'm selling it or something.
What are you going to try and sell it for? That's my question now, because you're constantly switching. You're never going to be satisfied, bro.
Well, so I have my core. I have a core set of belts that I will not get rid of, and I mean, I guess unless something catastrophic happened. But you know, my classic shields, my Omis, those type of belts, those aren't going anywhere. You know, so shop belts. You know, I get impulsive.
Okay. So I want to switch gears to a little thing that I'm going to have you come back in our conversation later over on overtime. But the hobby right now is so toxic. Like, I just don't understand the bullshit. I don't get it. Do you think that this was something that was bound to happen? Just all this drama, all this BS, all this, I don't know, pile of
garbage.
Dog shit. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I think it's always bound to happen. Talking to other people that have been in the hobby a long time, you know, it's kind of like a cycle. And right now we're in that the babble.
He's here, bro. The glow is gonna change.
It is. But just talking to other people in the hobby, it's a cycle we're going through right now. And the thing that everybody needs to realize is we just don't need to add to it and poke the bear. We can minimize the damage. We all know what a winged eagle is. Don't have to add a certain name to the winged eagle or a certain company to the winged eagle. An intercontinental. We don't have to add those. We know what it is.
Yeah. And we're gonna go all out on the hobby later on. But I do have to, ask you in your collection, what's your favorite belt, and why? Why is it your favorite belt?
I got two. They're never gonna leave me. They'll get buried with me or whatever. But my Classic Shield Winged Eagle and my Classic Shields Icy, that was my what I remember as a kid. That was my WrestleMania 6. That was it. Everything else was just because I can.
Yeah. And now, God, you and your belts, man. You and your belts. Who's your favorite maker to work with?
Oh, there's only one. I mean, really, it's Classic Shields and then everybody else.
But I'm gonna call bullshit on that because you and I are the same. You know the belts behind me.
Yes, sir.
You know what those belts are. You know every single one of those belts except one. So you and I stick to Shop, Figures Inc., Classic Shields, ORM.
Yep.
That's literally the stoppage for you and me. Why are you deterring to others?
There's a couple of other makers that are genuinely seem like they're really nice guys, and I'm helping them to the point where we're making sure their artwork's correct, and so when you buy a belt, their art you know their artwork's going to be spot on. And honestly, I won't go below CNC anymore. That's kind of where my cutoff is now.
Mm-hmm.
So with these other makers, they're doing CNC. So if you can make their artwork spot on and they're running CNC, everything else is kind of you can manage.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of where I'm at with that.
Okay. Last thing before we get the rest of the gang on here and put you back, I have one question. You come off as the biggest fucking troll ever, right?
What?
And I, we're best friends, but you're a pain in the ass when you get
100%.
My question to you is to people who don't know you, okay, how should they approach you regarding something that they say? Because I think it has to be an open dialogue. I think we all have to have an open dialogue instead of constantly attacking each other. There's a lot of alphas in here, and I hate using that damn word.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of people that just want to be the man all the time. A lot of guys in this community, I find, and you could disagree with me here or correct me if I'm wrong, there's a lot of guys who think that they're in pro wrestling. This isn't pro wrestling.
Yeah.
This is a hobby. So when you have the stuff that you do and when you start trolling and attacking people, could you just tell someone if they have a disagreement with you, what can they do? What can they how should they approach the Mexican that is Ethan Thompson?
I genuinely never go to like a page and attack anybody, especially if somebody's posting a belt that they love. Like, you got, your 2 millimeter brasses, your cardboard belts. I mean, I look at those cardboard belts and I can never do that. Like, so for me, it's not a matter of attacking. It's just a matter of like, you give somebody a leash, and if they're going to hang themselves, then that's it. Once you've hung yourself, it's a wrap. But for me, like if I say something out of line or something like that, I know I'm one of those kind of guys that you either excuse my language, but you either fuck with me or you don't.
Hashtag fact.
There's not a whole lot of middle, and I understand that, and I acknowledge that, and so it is what it is. But like, I don't block anybody on Facebook.
Like, I block people like crazy.
I don't block anybody, because if I block somebody, then that means that, to me, it means that like they bothered me, and I just don't have that mentality.
Yeah, that's the whole point of me blocking the me.
See, and I don't have the mentality, bro. I'll never let you in that way.
Man, have you had a drink? Man, look, you see, I'm getting too personal. Stop. All right, go ahead.
Go for it.
Keep finished. I'm getting too too personal.
Hey, that's the show, bro. Spit facts.
Have you had a drink today? What the fuck is the matter with you?
Not yet. I'm waiting.
Okay. Final thing, if you have one word of advice, being a new guy that has propelled himself to the position that you are in, because a lot of people don't know that you get hit up all the time. People asking you questions, talking to you about these different things. So what is you've done something that normally takes people like 10, 15 years to do. You've done it in almost only 2. So what's your advice to someone new coming in?
Honestly, just read. Like, just figure out what you want. I mean, honestly, there's so many different characters in this hobby that it's mind boggling. But like, don't be afraid to post your belt, whether it's a 2 millimeter or a cardboard belt or anything like that, bro. That's what you can do and what you can mess with right now. Maybe down the road you can get to something better, and but don't be deterred by other people's opinion, because opinions are like assholes. It's just what it is.
Yo, bro.
Facts,
I love
bro.
you, bro. I love you.
Facts, bro.
Thank you so much for coming on, bro. I'm sure next month you'll be here because you're gonna sneak your way in somehow, bro.
What belt do I gotta buy, bro? I got you.
WCW TV, bro. Kevin's gonna flip. All right, bro.
Hey, Kevin, send me a price. I'll buy yours right now.
Facts. Yo, so thank you so much, Ethan. We're gonna bring you back. Look, I'm talking in jive. We're gonna bring you back later on, okay? Thank you. That guy is something else. Get him on a Saturday night with some good red wine. He's insane. So we're going to talk about the Block Logo European Championship. Pay your damn bills first thing, and then you can afford. So many guys need to learn this. Yes, do pay your bills or save up for a belt. That's something that we're going to talk about. First, to speak of the Block Logo European Championship, I brought this man on because he, again, is very knowledgeable in everything that he does. He is one of the CEOs of Culture Shock Entertainment, the man himself, Slippery Butter, Mike Jones. Let me ask you a question. Is that an Imperium jacket?
Yeah, it's a European title show, so why not go European with my gear?
Bro, if I could kiss you through the camera, I would. Okay, I would. Another good friend of the show, he is the co-host of the Belt Outcast. You can catch Monday night at 7 p.m. along with Michael Hollandcheck. The man who is awake while everyone is sleeping, Mr. Andy Bolger. Andy, welcome aboard, brother. How you doing?
I'm great. Thanks for having me, guys.
Of course, you're a treat. And we also have, this is a guy who just loves to have fun. He is one of the mainstays at our private chat, Jones Barbecue and Foot Massage. Yes, relations. Brian Allen, good to see you, my friend. Hope to see you in chat later. That guy's a riot. I literally want to move to New York City to hang with to have Brian Allen in my damn vicinity. My Jones, my brother, another mother, and Jay Cross, my sister from another mister. You my everything, bro. You my everything. So we're gonna bring on a good friend of the show, a man who just loves to have fun, Mr. James Taylor. Jimmy, how you doing tonight, baby?
What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing?
Chilling, bro. Chilling. So we are going to start with a belt that I think I loved. I thought it was great. I thought it was one of the most amazing things when it first came out. Jones, what do you think of the European Championship?
Very underrated title championship. I kind of wish stuck around longer and kept its prestige up. It was very well designed, in my opinion. It's can't go wrong with it. Like, it can be used to get over a lot of people that are currently on the roster, but that's a whole different subject. I'm a little bitter about that. All I'm saying is I need one more round.
Andy, what do you think of the Block Logo European Championship?
Gorgeous belt. Believe it or not, it's one that I don't have in my collection as of yet, but I am looking to add. It's just gorgeous. All the flags, the side plates are gorgeous. There's not a flaw in that belt, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. It really is. And Jimmy, talk to me. What do you think about this belt? Do you have it?
No, actually, I just ordered it along with Ethan and Vinny, so we got that belt on the way. But it's one of my favorite titles. I mean, you think about the guys who held it: Owen Hart, Shawn Michaels, Triple H, the Bulldog. It's one of those very prestigious titles when it first came out, and I really think that it's something that should still stick around. Kind of touching on what Jones was saying, but it's one of my favorite belts, and it's the Grand Slam. It's one of the core four that I've always loved growing up, and I can't wait to get it myself.
Yeah. I can't wait to get it either. And I want it. I want that belt. And I'm gonna show you guys later because Jamar's side plate had his damn phone number on it, and I want that. Right. So I'm gonna show you guys later, but it was one of my favorite belts just of how beautiful I thought it was. I'm just thinking of the bulldog and all when I think about that belt. Yes, that's literally what comes to mind right away. Poor Rick. What have they done to Ricochet, Mike Jones? I mean, come on, man.
Same thing to do with anybody else who can't talk on the mic.
It's just wrong, man. It's just wrong. So
if you can't talk on the mic, you kind of get pushed to the side. It's the MO they've had for years. There's no manager, so that's what happens.
Look how long they haven't done a darn thing with Cesaro. Cesaro has sat there for years, nothing done with that.
That's who should be European champion.
Yeah. I would agree with that. I think he would do great actually in NXT UK. That's just my 2 cents.
I'd love to have him be Walter.
So we're going to start. Yeah, why not? We're going to start with the overseas makers because Figures Inc. did not produce a European block logo. They did produce the scratch. You can get yourself the scratch on the shop, but we will have a different episode of that because to us here, this is how crazy this hobby is. Just a different logo to us. It's a completely different belt. The undisputed V2 versus the V3. The difference, the paint job, the one plate being off, just the smallest thing can be off, and we already think it's a different belt. Isn't that amazing? Mm-hmm. So we're going to start with eBay seller musical item block logo European. Who here has bought a Pakistani belt from eBay? Any of you?
Nope.
Not from eBay.
Definitely not from eBay.
So this one, we had to blur out the logos because if you're living under a rock, WWE is coming hard for some reason. No homo. And to the gay community, we only say no homo to mess with the homophobes. We love you. We care about you. In June, we got something for you, baby. But the block logo European Championship, we have to block out the logos. And we'll talk about that later. This is our rating. It's the low quality, $185. Brass 2mm. Machine stamped low quality leather. This is the leather that they paint. They don't even dye. Probably 4 to 6 week time frame. James Taylor, talk to me about what you think.
I mean, when it comes to getting, if you're going to buy a belt, the 2mm brass, if it's what you can afford, absolutely go for it, do it. But for me personally, I mean, you could see there's barely, the etching isn't deep. There's nothing to it. And especially with the brass, you're not going to get that deep etching. For me, that's hard. It would be a hard pass.
Now, look at that. Andy Bolger.
Yeah.
You see that. And I mean, the tooling, you're a Nawaz guy. Okay. And I see Nawaz's work. And you seeing this kind of leather. I mean, would you pay the $185?
I want no part of it. I mean, just, it's like James was saying, just no. When you get 2mm brass, you're not going to get the beautiful deep etching to start. It's just it's too thin. And like you said, the leather, leather is not too big of a deal for me, but that looks so bad. No way.
Yeah.
No way.
And if you're going through get 2mm zinc. Yeah, I would agree with that. As a former advertising in general was still fairly new, pro wrestling in general stayed playing close to the best. Yeah. Mike Jones, you've become. I have a block green logo. The Europeans has too much detail to go cheap on it. This is true. I agree with this. Mike Jones,
yes,
you scour the internet, okay? Like me looking for donuts. You seen all these kinds of belts. What have you seen comparing this to something that's high quality?
How can that be in the same sentence?
Do you think do you think you should save the money and wait the year it'll take you to save if you're in that financial situation? I mean, what do you do?
It's like this. If this is what you can afford, and that's the belt you want, get it. I'm not going to knock you for it. If this is your price range and this is your grail, get it by all means. Nobody has a right to detract anything you do just because it's not up to their standard.
Correct. So one of the big things that I have said on this show is that we're giving, people this for the information as to what you can get and what you cannot get. If you're a kid who's in high school, you're working at the local supermarket. Hey, Anna, you're working at the local supermarket and can only afford this, then get this. There's no need for you to go Classic Shields. There's no need for you to go, all the way to the real makers. And there's no need for that. It's your collection. That's one of the big things about this show. And I think one of the big problems we have in the community that people want to just trash. We say it's a low quality because it's compared to everything else. If you have the money for it, or if you have patience is a big thing, correct? If you have the patience to be able to say, and the discipline as well, I'm going to put aside this money for this belt, then save your money. But if you want to get it for you just to have it at home and you just want it in your hands, just go for it. $1.55. So, and I'm always, at the end of the day, I don't care how many times Mike Holenchek has explained this to me. Oh, I'm going to ask someone that I haven't spoken to about it. James Taylor, what's the point of the half tip? No homo.
I prefer a full tip always, and that's full homo. But no, I don't see the point in it. I mean, if you're gonna have a tip on there, you should have a full tip on there all the way. I mean, it's just sticking on there. It's just kind of on there. And the other thing in this picture that bothers me is the box of doom, right? And that is something that drives me crazy. You could expand out your snaps and stuff like that, but again, for $185, there's certain things that you get with other makers for your money, and that's the good thing about these groups is going out and branching out to different people that you see buying it to get advice on what you should buy. But the half tip, I absolutely hate it. I don't see the point in it.
Andy, how much money are we saving here? Like, I mean, Holenchek told me but how much money do you think we're saving here? Because you could get a nice full tip from Wrestling Superstore, right?
Yeah. But it's just looking at that half tip, it just almost makes me sick. It's just because it's the most flimsiest, thin piece that's bolted, or I've even seen some times that belt makers have glued it on, and it's just the half tip is just such a bad word to me. Just don't even go there.
Right, just don't put it on because it's just
don't
leave it without the tip.
Yeah, it just looks so bad. I mean, no way around it.
And there is. So, Meon Belt is going to be next for the standard block logo European. I can't believe we have to do this. This is fun. This is so funny that we have to make believe that the WW other letter doesn't exist. It's insane. But Meon Belt, again, I always say this in this hobby. Work hard, stay humble, equals success. Okay. Tip is a medicine society. And we have to Joey, this is a family show.
Bro, chill.
No, that's true. That's true. So Meon, I like him as a belt maker, and because I'm focusing on me. And Mike Jones, how does that transfer over to you, a guy who is shopping around? Because you're shopping around for makers. You may say that you're not, but you're shopping around for makers. What does that say to you to see someone be humble, working hard, and then seeing that success? What do you think?
It actually attracts me to them because therefore you're staying in your own lane. You're not trying to compete with anybody else, and it makes me want to give you money because I'm like, all right, let me see what this person's capable of.
Now, like Brian Allen said, there is so much detail on this belt to go that you can't go cheap because it's not going to look right. You know, the details are here. This is our rating is medium, $375, which I think is very fair. I think if you're getting this belt, it's a very fair price. Jimmy, what do you think?
Oh, facts, absolutely. I mean, you can see the difference in just the detail alone. The leather, $375 for this, I'd pay that money all day, and especially the quality that you're going to get with not only Mayan but the customer service you're going to get from Eddie. Just with working those guys, I mean, you know what you're getting when you're spending your money on this, and if this is what you can afford, by all means, you pull the trigger every time.
Correct. And Andy, you see that 16-week time frame, right? How does that make you feel? Getting the honesty that, hey, this shit is going to take a long time. You sit it out.
It's great because you know that it's not going to be rushed. Time is going to be taken to get it right. Everything from the etching, the leather, and I mean, look at the paint. It's perfect. I mean, 16 weeks is fine. There's no worries, and then always, Eddie's always to be in contact with you if there's anything comes up. It's Mayon's just a total pleasure to deal with.
Yeah, and again, that detail again this is what I say. If you this is why, again, and I say this every show, and I'll say it again here. Jimmy, you have shop belts, correct?
Absolutely. Yep.
I got shop belts first, okay? Because the only other thing I knew was the real belts. Okay, my sister has 2 real belts. That's all I knew. The shop belts, some people are not going to agree with me, but you that own shop belts, I was spoiled by the quality. Even the 2mm figs, I was spoiled by the quality of the plates. What are your initial thoughts of owning the figs and the shops first and then going to the boots?
Well, so when I got my first shop belt, I mean, firstly, the quality was great. It looked amazing, right? But then going from the shop, then getting my first boot, it was like I'm looking, the plating is all scratched up. It's not exactly what you'd expect. And I'm like, I spent X amount of dollars on this, and then I went to a boot, and I got my first one was a bad boot to begin with. But then as I kind of progressed and seeing the difference in the quality for me, I love the shop belts, but every day I'd rather have real leather, hand tooling, have that perfection in front of me. But there are certain belts, to me, in my opinion, that you can't buy boots on. You got to go get a shop, re-leather,
stop booting spinners.
Exactly.
Keep going.
But yeah, I mean, like my first shop belt was the network logo. So immediately I was already spoiled there, and there's so much you can do with those network logos. But the going from that to a boot was night and day for at least my first one.
Yeah, of course, and that's why I tell people always buy the shop first, because you can resell them.
Yep.
Okay, and they just, the quality is going to spoil you. So my first boot was an IWGP United States from Usman. Okay, and on par and better quality. Yes, they are. My first boot was a IWGP United States from Usman. When I got it, I went downstairs and I went to pick it up, and it was heavy as hell. I was like, whoa, this thing is like, because I have shop belts. I got rid of it, unfortunately, the IWGP, because I wanted a higher quality of it. But it was an Usman, and it was a decent belt. If I had never seen the Classic Shield, the O&M version, I would have kept it, right? But that's just me, because I need perfection. With this kind of $375, and Andy, you have dealt with Nawaz, you've dealt with different makers. $375, do you think that's a fair price?
For this, yeah. Like I said, you see right there, it's first rate. That plus dealing with Eddie and knowing that everything's going to be done right, that's a very fair price.
Yes. Yes. Max Ferreira. Get this man a
Facts,
shield.
Max.
Stop booting fucking spinners, man. Jesus.
You don't boot spinners.
I'm sorry. This just shit has to stop. Stop booting. And I'm not talking about the U.S. spinners. Okay, Jones, I'm going to tell you right now, that's your boy. He does a good U.S. spinners. I ain't going to front. But this shit needs to stop with the damn spin, with the WWE title spinners. Please. For fuck's sake. Stop. Okay. So, the next belt, SM Belts. Now, this has been a very interesting company because I mentioned before something, Mike Jones. I mentioned before when I was talking to Ethan Thompson, who, by the way, is the happiest man on God's green earth. Don't let him bullshit you otherwise.
Oh yeah, and beautiful at that, by the way.
I was speaking with him regarding how me and him stick to certain makers, Classic Shields, ORM, Shop. That's it. Okay, because again, you may bitch and moan about the Shop, but I took a picture 2 months ago with the WCW 91 and 93, 2mm. And I dared the makers to send a picture to me in the reflection of the belt. I still haven't gotten it. So something that they mastered years ago, you're still not doing. But they're called Figures Inc. out. But I was talking to Ethan about this because I may be determined a little bit. SM Belts, their SD block logo European. It looks, Andy, I'm going to warn you here. It looks very good. Okay. Mm-hmm. Price ain't that bad. Okay. Check this out. Our rating is high. $590. You get yourself hand-tooled, high-quality leather. He does it in 8 weeks. And again, for this, we don't just take what the maker tells us. We don't say, hey, maker, how long is your wait time? We talk to at least 3 different customers and say, hey, how long did a belt take you from him? How much did this belt take you from? And the person who waited for this belt told me it was around 7.5 weeks. I have never gotten to be honest with you, I've never gotten an update from a maker. To this day, I get told when it's being shipped. But to have that, number one, the time
I've had people give me updates. So
to have that time frame, to have that price, Mike Jones, talk to me.
I love it. You got the green there. It looks clean. Like his leather is very good. I've been very, very tempted to pull a trigger a few times, but it's just a matter of picking exactly which belt you get from him. And
if you notice, he's a really good belt maker, but you can't see the reflection, right? But at least it's still, it's visible. It's not a splodge that you can barely see, right? Andy, what do you think of the plates here?
Oh, they look really, really nice. Nice etching, very nice reflection. Paint looks great. I mean,
yeah.
And then for the first time tonight, we're seeing it on green strap, which would be my choice. That's incredible. All that in 7 weeks. That's pretty good.
Yes, Joe. The forest green looks good. Yeah, it looks really, really slick. Jimmy, when you ordered yours, which color strap did you go with, buddy?
Oh, green, baby. Green. That's the way
green?
to go. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I went with the green because I like being different, as everybody on the screen knows. I like having, if it's normally a black strap, I normally go white because that's usually the way to go. But I like having color on my straps, so green was the only way to do it.
So when I order mine, I'm gonna go with green because I have so many belts. Again, I'll be honest here. I have 72 belts. One of them is a boot. But they're all on black straps, which is the only one that isn't. Is I think the white strap Intercontinental and the North American NXT. I need to start switching it up. So I'm going to get one of these. And I'm actually tempted to go with this maker to maybe divert a little bit out, because again, you're not going to find, I think what's going to happen here. And Jim, I'm going to throw this to you.
Okay.
I think that maybe in the next year and a half, Eddie Williams has predicted this. He thinks that most makers are going to upgrade and most makers are going to look like this. What do you think of that statement?
I absolutely agree. I mean, because I think personally, I think HD is going to become the new SD. I think that's the only way it goes, honestly. So if you're wanting quality, and a lot of people now they're wanting quality, you know. So if I'm looking at makers, I'm looking at their SD to see how close it looks to an HD, how good it looks, how good their etching is, how clean the plates are. And I think as you see that quality, you're not going to want to go backwards. So I think that's a true factual statement, because the world progresses. Might as well make HD the new thing.
And that's one of the things I get shit about. I get attacked about that, because I say there's two different things regarding a Reggie and a Classic Shields. You get let's say a Reggie Winged Eagle, okay, with all the bells and whistles. You get a classic Shields Vinny Vegas edition Winged Eagle, okay. If you don't know what that is, I'll explain. It's the ones with the extra flock. If you get any boat that has extra flock, anything that they hand tool into it, that's called the Vinny Vegas edition. So the Vinny Vegas Winged Eagle, which is literally fully loaded, I think it's better quality than an Omi. I mean, than a Reggie Parks, because technology it's 30 years ago. Reggie made the Winged Eagle 30 years ago. Of course, Classic Shields' quality is going to be better than Reggie's. Dan McMahon will tell you no. Some other ass clown who hates Classic Shields will tell you no. These are the facts, right? But here's the difference. Again, I'll say this again. The CNC is a new wave. Yes, it is. A Reggie will always be a Reggie. Okay? Even if it has paint smudge, it's going to sell more than that Classic Shields. You put a Reggie for $4,000, let's say even $5,000 on a Winged Eagle WWF on eBay, Dan McMahon and that side of the hobby will tell you that's a good deal, and it's gone less than a day. You put a Classic Shields Winged Eagle, the Vinny Vegas, fully loaded, better quality than a Reggie for $4,000, it's just going to sit there. A Reggie will always be a Reggie, but technology continues to move. And this is what will happen in the hobby. They will continue to move. Every maker, when you see a bad, and Andy, I'm going to go to you on this, because again, you know different makers. Have you seen personally the improvement of a maker going from a shitty maker to a fantastic maker like this?
Oh yeah. I mean, and there's so many people now, makers, that are doing CNC, and it's suddenly becoming affordable. I never thought that was going to happen. And you can go to somebody and get a CNC for, I don't know, $350, $375. I think that's for certain makers. That's impressive.
Yeah. You don't have to. And Jim, one of the things someone said the other day to me was, you don't need to break the bank to have a good belt.
Facts.
You have a whole bunch of belts. What do you say to that statement?
No, I think it's facts. I mean, honestly, like, you know, I got Nawaz. I paid secondhand. I paid $170 behind me, but I've gone through Nawaz, paid $350, and that belt was better than something I spent $400 plus on. So, you know, I think depending on what make you go through and who you're dealing with, you're going to get different quality based on each individual. And I like to shop around different makers to see what I'm getting, what kind of quality I'm getting, so I know who I'm going to invest in going forward.
Correct. So here we are. ORM belts. Oh my God, oh me. Ethan is like in the back, just her. Ethan, calm the fuck down. It's Friday. Technology can move, but trust me, that CS is doing following the American way or Reggie way of making the belt. Classic Shields will tell you. Yeah, I agree. CS is just hitting the stride. Reggie isn't really making belts anymore. We all know what that does to value. Yeah, that's true. You can get a high quality picture of any belt maker, and you can make it no matter. No, that's not true, David. Because I've seen really bad belts. I've seen really bad belts. And again, if you're having a conversation with me about getting the highest quality belt, I'm gonna tell you whether what belt it's not. If you're telling me you love your belt, it cost you $185 and it was by the eBay maker, I'm gonna be happy for you. But here he is. ORM. Andy, I'm gonna throw it to you because you had an experience with him. Tell me about that experience.
Well, it was when I was, I think that was my second Pakistan purchase, and it was let's see, it was a winged eagle brass. I didn't know about zinc back then, and he was taking his time, and I would just every once in a while message him looking for an update, and he rather quickly into it got upset with me, said I was rushing him, and then he said to leave him alone because if I didn't, he was going to hang on to the down payment I paid him, and wasn't going to send me my belt.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I won't ever buy from him again. I mean, this was 2 or 3 years ago when it happened. I mean, hopefully he's grown up a lot since then. I know, but yeah, I mean, just a thought that I was going to, I was going to lose my money that I paid him and not get the belt. It's just, what's wrong with this picture?
Yeah. So, Andy, the reason why I asked you that was because I've seen some changes in him. Even before, we came on last January and Ethan and Joey went at him because if you guys didn't know, Ethan and Joey are our road warriors and they just trailed through everything. But they went through him. But I've seen some changes in the past months. I have some really good changes on him, on his part.
Good.
Jeff Parthay, as you all know, the Weasel, has considered ORM the best maker in the world. I'm not even going to ask people about that statement right now. I'm not. Because, in my opinion, Reggie Parks, Dave Milliken are the best, even though they're pieces of shit. They are. But I think they're the best makers in the world because everything that we do, and Wildcat. I think you're the best. You want to know why you're the best? Because everyone is emulating what you do. It started from you. So it's starting from Reggie, passing it on to Dave, Wildcat, Jamar. Even though they have their issues, I think they're the best because they're just like you started from them. Okay. So ORM, he's going to get our platinum rating today for the European Championship. 650 smackaroos. Now, Jimmy, you're dabbling in classic shields and all that jazz. Do you think this is a fair price for an Omi block logo European?
I mean, for Omi, I think it is. Just the quality that you got. I've definitely seen a dip in what he's been doing over the past, several months. But at the same time, I mean, I know that I can go get quality from a different maker like Nawaz. And, I'm not big on the leather, but I think Nawaz has come leaps and bounds with his leather and with his plating. And I could pay $200 less. So that's just my personal choice. But I think that, you can't go wrong with an Omi. You can't go wrong with the classic shields. I mean, just look at the belt. It looks amazing. Just look how it's just clean. It's just clean. So, but 650, I don't think it's terrible. But I think there's still other options out there as well.
Yeah. Andy, what do you think about this belt?
It's very nice, and I think everybody pretty much knows that Omi's leather, nobody can touch or compare to Omi's leather. It's
Omi
incredible.
Best leather, bro.
That's
yeah. But I mean, it's like James said.
I agree.
Nawaz, I think he's the close. His SD is comparable to HD. It's incredible. But yeah, I mean, if you got the money for Omi, and I think the big differences between Omi and SM is the leather. Omi, I think, has the best leather there is.
Yeah.
Now, but if you like, so I'm more so concerned about the plate than the leather. So it's just whenever you're, what you want to spend and what your preferences are.
Yeah, yeah. Mike Jones. Last time we featured Omi on this show, which was for the Intercontinental, his time frame was unknown. Right now, he's giving people 6 months, and he's completing those 6 months. I've talked to exactly 9 different customers who were told a certain time frame by him, and he has met those time frames. And now, instead of saying 30 days, he's saying stuff like 6 months. He's told 7 different people it's going to be 6 months. You back then were not going to go Omi at all. Do you still need for him to continue to improve before you say I'm going in?
I'm going on the record now. I'm going completely fucking heel. I will never, ever own an Omi belt unless it's given to me.
Okay, I was gonna say if I bought you one. No, Mike Jones, you need brother, my dear brother. You need to learn to forgive. Open your mind.
No, here's the thing. I forgive. I forgive. I don't forget. It's a difference.
But what if he changes his practices, man? What if
It's too little, too late for me at this? It's too little, too late.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
You're half white, okay? Why are you so chilly on a Friday night? There's no need for that. But you have to tell me in your honest opinion. I know you won't buy from him because of the experiences of others that you've seen. What do you think of this belt?
It looks nice. This is his. This is his SD, right?
This is SD, yeah.
Okay, so all right, so it's in house. Okay, it's a good looking belt, but again, like, it's too little, too late for me to say, okay, yeah, I'm willing to give you money. There's still a couple belts I know about that have not been delivered.
Yes,
within time frames that were said. So that's why I'm never going to be able to be a customer of his.
Okay, but then let me tell people here, he is making improvements. He is, and we like to see that. We're not just going to come on here and bash him. If not, Jones would have ripped him apart right now. Okay, but it's good to see the fact that he is progressing. Things are getting. He no longer has the unknown. It's a 6-month wait time. And if you guys have any experience with him, just let me know. Okay, Eddie. Let me tell you something about Eddie Williams. Okay, Eddie Williams is just. Eddie, I love you, Eddie. I really do. He's still waiting on our and getting ghosts to other people who ordered the about same time as me had their belts. So, John, there you go. Hit me up so we can talk about it. There's one example that he's, ghosting someone. So there are some people that are getting the belts. There are some people with others. I want to know why. I want to know. And this is something that we had a conversation with someone earlier where do you order from his middlemen who are his admins on his page, or do you order straight from him? So that's something that we're actually trying to figure out for you guys. So let's see. We have also, boom, this picture. Now, I have 2 iron belts on order and updates are irritating. Yeah. So again, if you have these things, give us a thing. But he is, for some customers, he is updating them. Me, not yet. But here's the thing. I'm not going to go personal and say Omi is a piece of shit. I'm not going to do that. If customers are telling me, hey, he told me this, that's what I'm going to tell you. Me, no, I haven't gotten my belt yet. Okay, but I'm not going to sit here and let my personal bias miss you of the information. Yes, there are people like in my own circle that haven't gotten their belts, myself. But customers that I have spoken to, he has delivered. He has delivered, and I think he will continue to deliver because I think he likes doing this. But look at that. How you read European heavyweight champion. Jimmy, with all the belts that you have seen, how clear is this?
Oh, it's crisp. Absolutely crisp.
Now, there are some that you yourself have told me there are some you can't even read it, right?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, there's some you can't even read. The paint's blotched off. It's half over the letters and whatnot. So it's definitely clean. It's definitely clear, and especially for an SD, that's quality. It's definitely quality.
Andy Bolger, do you think it's worth the $650 price tag? And I'm asking you this as I'm asking you this as Andy Bolger, Nawaz guy. If you just be honest.
No. I mean, I could go to Nawaz or even a Pierce. And for $650 for me, no. I can go to Nawaz or somebody else that I know of and spend a whole lot less.
Yeah. You're correct. It's all about communication. So again, hit me up to my DMs. Let me know this stuff. The customers I've spoken to have gotten their belts, but again, I haven't. So I report both sides. I'm not going to give you one side. Ethan Thompson is one of them who's going to come back and scream at the world about it, which I applaud him for. But ORM is going to. I hope he does, and this is something Ethan will say. This is something I say. We hope that he continues to get his time frames right. Just that's just it. So finally, original maker, Mr. Joe Marshall. Mr. Joe Marshall. Jimmy, what do you know about J-Mar?
I mean, I know some of the belts he's made, like the European, which Smoking Skull, but I don't know all details about him. I just know some of the belts he's made.
Andy, what do you know about J-Mar?
Not too much. I'll be honest. I did hear he had a lot of problems with belts for people and such. But I don't know. Then I know that the belt, like James said, that he made. But other than that, I really don't know too much about him.
Jonesy, what do you know about J-Mar, baby?
To me, he's had some of the best designs I've seen from a maker. Everyone's going to have their issues, so I'm not going to nitpick on maker issues. But it happens.
Yeah. So when the internet was very young and I was a child of probably like 10 years old, me and my sister would go online and try to find belts. Literally, we were obsessed with these damn belts. And J-Mar would have sales of his belts. You could get a J-Mar belt for super cheap back in the day. The problem that came up was when you were ordering those belts, he was getting too many. He was getting too many orders, and the shit kept piling up, 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 and then it just overflowed. And it is something that Kevin has said about he thinks Classic Shields ORM is happening to them, that they take too much orders, and it just starts again Midwest as well. I reached out to J-Mar. I've told you this before. I'm not going to give you information that we don't have. He never responded back, so we don't have the information. But this is what this is played at Access. This is the original European Championship. And first big commercial, but I remember him making the first UFC belts. Yes. Andy Bolger. Look at this belt on Access. Let me ask you, would you prefer it like this or brand spanking new?
Well, I mean, if you can get your hands on a ring used belt with all that history, you take it just like that. I mean, if you could have, my God, you could have the original and then go have another one made up that's prettier and got all the paint and everything, but the history of that being ring used, can't turn that down.
Yeah. And Jimmy, I want to show you something. This is what I want. I'm obsessed with this.
Me too.
I don't care who tell me what. So it's in blue. The one that was in the original European was red. Okay. But and he's showing it right there on his
United States.
He's showing on his United States. But I'm obsessed with this. I want this on my belt with the red. with the red paint like it was on the Intercontinental. What do you think of this, Jimmy?
No, I mean, look, I like it, but for for an advertisement, I think just having it on the belt, especially the one I just ordered, I want this on my belt. I have it on my 3-plater, which is fantastic, but
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Just the beltster, he's just throwing his name on there. You got world champions, European champions wearing it. It's got his name on there. I think it's amazing.
Now, Mike Jones, you are literally the epitome of class. Do you think this cheapens the belt, or do you think it's something good?
It's something good because look at it this way, as it was previously stated in the comments. The internet wasn't that heavy back then, so you needed to advertise. It was subtle. Most people couldn't even see what was on that plate. Most people would say, I have no idea what that plate says, but it looks cool. And then when you get up close to it, it's like, oh, it's his phone number. Oh, I can order a belt from him.
Yep.
It was social networking before social networking was cool.
Yeah, and I think it was a great idea.
Mm-hmm.
It's on national TV every week. Yeah, very smart move on JMO. A lot of people think it's tacky. I actually want it so that because when people come into my office, when people come to visit, they always for some reason they end up in the damn office, and I want them to see it one day and just call the damn number. I don't even know the damn number works, but I want someone to take a picture and go, I'm gonna order a belt and see if he ever answers.
Exactly.
I'm a sass queen like that. So not many pictures of this belt out there. I haven't seen it on eBay. We haven't seen an original one ready. So we have some pictures, the British Bulldog. Great. I think fantastic champion. Andy, what do you think of the British Bulldog as European champion?
I thought he was fantastic. I thought he was great. I mean, look how great that belt looks on him. I mean,
oh yeah,
couldn't have it any better.
Yeah. And we have Mike Jones, obviously, because black.
Whoa. It's not even that. He's just the greatest European champion of all time. Don't at me.
Bro, you gotta love D'Lo, man. And James Taylor, look at that. Huh?
Dude,
what would you give,
O'Mac.
James? Tell me the truth. What would you give to have that belt, to have someone allow you to get that belt, that actual belt?
I mean, I'd probably donate a kidney, whatever I needed to do to get that belt. That belt's just fantastic. Whatever I got to do.
It is really gorgeous. And the final one, one of my favorite wrestlers. And I cried as a kid. I really did. I've told these guys before, I don't cry for wrestlers dying or celebrities like that, but Owen for some reason just hit me. Owen hit me because I had that connection with Owen where I had that connection with Owen because I always felt in my family my sister's the family jewel, the one that everybody looks up to, like Brett was. And Owen was like, yo, I work hard too, bro. I work hard too. Why don't no love for me? And that just hurt having him pass. So that's it for that. I thank you guys for coming on here with me to do the European Championship, one of the greatest titles of all time. The greatest European champion was William Regal. Ooh, Mike Jones.
I will argue with you. I will say this: if this was next month's episode, I would agree with you because it's a WCW TV championship. Maybe you can say he's one of the greatest TV champions of all time. But European champion, no, beat it, kid.
Beat it. So before we bring our next guest, MC Owen said in the interview he liked holding Europe because it was about bread that didn't hold. Ooh, Owen, again, one of my favorite hearts, bro. Let's talk bullshit now. Let's go overtime. Let me bring our special guest, Mr. Ethan Thompson. Welcome back, baby. How you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I took your advice, had a couple of adult beverages, so I'm straight, bro. Shoot it out.
We're gonna have a good night,
There it
Poppy.
is.
We're good.
I got you, bro. I
gotta go to sleep at 1, so keep that in mind. So let's have a discussion about people getting shut down. Because everybody's getting fucking shut down. Everybody. And a lot of people are angry. And I know I'm going to get a lot of hate for this. But you can't be fucking angry. WWE is not the bad guy here. They aren't. Okay? There is no if and or buts about that. You can try and argue it all you want. When they were censored, think about this. When they were censored, and I know this is crazy me saying this because I'm on a show called Get the Strap. I'm showing you which makers to go to. Okay? But do you remember when the Panda won, Ethan? The WWF versus the WWF, and they had to change their name to WWE?
Yep.
Who remembers this? I know some
yeah.
people are going to remember. This specific part. Listen to this. Even on anything that WWE played rewind on, the WWF logo had to be blurred.
Yep.
On everything.
Everything.
You may hate Dan McMahon with every fiber of your being, but at the end of the day, I have boots. I have ordered boots. But at the end of the day, he's right. He beats you on the legality immediately. You, me, Ethan, James, Jonesy, Andy, anyone, Vince, Eddie, we have zero claim to this. They know that. I can say that because they're not ignorant. They're not incompetent. They know that that's a fact.
Can I hit you with my version now?
Hold on. I will. They can't. We're gonna probably argue. Be soft on me, please. It's Friday. But we have zero right to this shit. We have to protect ourselves and do things more smartly because there's a lot of stupidity in this hobby. We have to be more smart. But rest assured, he may be the devil you may think he is, but Vince McMahon ain't wrong because let me tell you, if you have a show, if you have an item, if you have something that you invented, and someone copies here, you're going to call them out on it. You're going to call them out on it. If someone goes and gets a show called Get the Strap, obviously I'm going to be like, yo, what the fuck are you doing? We all will, okay? We have to be smart about it, okay? Very smart about it. Ethan, you're ready to fight. Talk to me.
So here's my facts I'm going to spit. So the facts I'm going to spit is, again, I'm not going to dispute that WWE, you know what, has the fundamental right in the legality of what we're doing. Nobody's disputing that. But the thing with me is, like, I feel like, for me personally, if I could go on WWE shop and purchase the belts that I want to purchase, whether it's a Winged Eagle with attached bars, your Intercontinentals, all these belts with good products. But the thing is, with that company, they want to cut their bottom line and they want to make as much money as possible because they don't really care about the belts like we do. If they cared about the belts, we would have a network logo or Universal.
A stacked, yeah.
You know, because those belts don't mean nothing. They don't mean nothing to nobody. They're just a company logo. You know, we'd probably still be rocking the Winged Eagle right now. So unless, as a consumer, you can provide me with what I need, I got to go to where I can get it.
But here's the thing. Here, let entertain this for a second. It's a replica. It's a replica, right? I'll give you an example. I'm a Harry Potter fan, right? Fucking Wingardium Leviosa. If I order a broomstick, a Harry Potter broomstick from WB shop, I'm gonna get a replica that has plastic, not the actual thing. But if I go to Etsy, I can find some middle-aged white lady in Idaho who's gonna provide me a more realistic thing. Isn't that what's going on here, Ethan?
Yeah, but the thing is, like, so you need to, if you really, if you really cared about the product, then you would listen to your customers, because I can't go to WWE shop and buy a classic tag or a ruthless aggression tag or a SmackDown
Right.
tag or a WCW 5-plater or a Winged Eagle with the Winged Eagle with attached sidebars. None of that is available to me, so where am I supposed to go to get it? I didn't grow up with a Winged Eagle that didn't have attached sidebars and didn't look the way it looked on TV.
Yeah.
I don't want that.
You want the actual thing.
If you really cared about your company and you really cared about your money, you listen to your customer base.
Best Harry Potter boot brooms are from Idaho. Facts. Bro, throw your diamonds up. James Taylor, I'm going to ask you something because Ethan brought up something important.
Yeah.
You get yourself a shop belt. And I love you, Ethan. But I have to compare it to the people who get angry that the United States that's currently on TV that I have here, that some of you guys have, is bowl-shaped and it's hollowed out. How much is that going to weigh? How much is that going to... Is the leather even going to be able to hold it if you fill the whole thing? You moron. But my question is, now, if we get, let's say, Ethan, a stacked WWE title, like those bases that these different makers are making, right? If they make that, James Taylor, as the standard, what would the price be? If you're doing real leather and you're stacking these plates, what's going to be the outcome?
You figure, I mean, you already look at what they're doing for their elites. Their elites run anywhere from $1,000 to $2,000. So if you're getting what we're getting now through WWE, you're going to be paying that price tag, probably up to $2,000 just to get a real standard, to get their standard of what we're already buying. Like, you figure the United States belts now.
On the flip, I hate to cut you off, but on the flip,
yeah, John,
if you look at a shop Intercontinental, really, how much is that cost? How much does that cost them to how much does that cost them to produce? You're probably in it $50 in production value.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So
easy.
You're just being greedy at a certain point. I'm not asking you to make a solid WC or WWE United States. Not asking you that. But look, at least use real leather. Don't slap a piece of cardboard in between.
But then that increases the price, though, bro, doesn't it?
But you think if they do anything
out the gate,
right? I think they should give an option. Like they have a custom T-shirt site. They do that. They should do a upgraded leather version to where I can pay an additional fee to then upgrade my belt. It lines their pockets, and I get what I want at the end of the day.
Producer, please put that last comment back up. Please. No. The other one about the please, for fuck's sake. Please. I am a friend.
Stop booting spinners.
Yes, spinners, but there are certain shop belts that you do not need to boot. It's the level, and don't say, "Oh, Jay, I can only afford that." My man, I've seen that belt for $225, and you're paying $300 for the bad belt, and then say, "Well, this is better than the shop." If you're happy with it, great, but don't tell me it's better than the shop because no, it's not. Even hollowed out, the thing is heavy. This bullshit has to stop. Where we have one thing here and one thing here. One smells like shit. One smells like Ethan, and we say, "Oh no, they smell the same." No, it's not true. Okay, at all.
I'll go a step further.
Thank you,
down
Nick.
to your Intercontinental. Stop booting the Intercontinentals.
Which one?
The classic IC.
The classic IC.
Classic IC.
About? Your favorite is the classic IC. What are you talking about?
You don't need a boot. The shop belt is perfect for what it is.
Okay. Yes. You mean with the Legends?
Your reflection picture. Yes, your reflection picture is great. Is the mark you want to achieve.
Right.
For the price range, you can get it for $260 on sale, $240 on sale. You'll never be able to achieve it better than the shop.
Andy Bolger, I have a beautiful picture of your daughter that people have seen numerous times, so I don't need to put it up, of her holding the 2mm Big Eagle. Okay.
Mhm.
So you've been in this for a very long time. You have the quality of that 2mm compared to now, to the shop. What are your thoughts?
Hanging right over my shoulder right here. For 2mm, I mean, when I first got it, I was like, wow, this is real metal. This is decent. Everything looks good on it. And I loved it then. I love it now. And I would have friends come over and just, wow, this is a real belt. It's, I always love it. It was perfect then, and it's perfect now. But when you compare that to going to getting 4mm zinc, which, like I said, back then I didn't even know what they weighed, how much they weighed, what they were made of, or anything.
I don't even know how to spell fucking zinc, but go ahead.
Yeah, it's just so incredible what we can get now. I mean, never did I dream I would have one belt, but I mean, I have around 20, and it's just amazing what we can get now compared to back then. It's not day.
So here's the thing that I want to ask you guys. I started the hobby in 2008, and it was because my sister was in all that shit, and I was just, exploring and watching. It wasn't as open as this is now. You go on any group page, and you can find a belt. I'm from the hood. I'm from Brooklyn, Sumner Projects. Things that are not, like Dan would like to say, legal, you do under the table. It's hush hush, right? There isn't this big, there isn't a guy on the corner store saying, I have cocaine. That's not a thing. It's always underground. My question to you guys here, with everything that's happened, and I've been informed by friends, this has happened before, it continues to happen. Should the hobby go dark? Should the hobby evolve and go underground? And I know some people are like, Jay, you sound dramatic. No. People that know what I'm talking about know what I'm talking about. But Mike Jones, do you think that the hobby needs to go dark?
The hobby doesn't need to go dark. The hobby does need to evolve.
Evolve to what, though, my friend?
Here's the thing. No matter how much we want it and like it, it's someone else's property that we're getting made. So therefore, you kind of have to do it respectfully. You can get it, just don't flaunt it. If you get it and keep it, they will not bother you. It's the fact that it's being flaunted in front of people's faces is what's driving them crazy. Now you're hurting their pockets, because if it was not being flaunted so much, they wouldn't even, it would be under the radar. They'd be like, all right, chill. They may come to you and say, oh, can you help us with artwork? Like, not, you may say, hey, yours is looking a little crisper than ours. What are you doing differently? They'll talk to you one-on-one, but they only start attacking you when it's like, hey, look what I got.
Yeah.
Don't do that. I'm not saying you can't show it, but don't just be blatant.
Andy Bolger, what do you think about that? Do you think the hobby should go dark?
No, I think it can be handled in a reasonable way. But it's like Jones said, don't go ape crazy on it. Just, keep everything controlled, and how can I say, just don't be stupid. I mean, everybody knows how things should be, and just flaunting things, overdoing things. I mean, look at the situation we're in now, with all of our groups having to do all these strange and stupid things because of it. And, if people behave I hate saying it because nobody's kids. No, but we're not children, but things would be a lot better.
Thank you, Chad. You're too nice. Ethan, should it go dark?
No, but I think people need to learn a fine word in this hobby: humility. We're doing something. We're taking, regardless of how you want to spin it, we are taking property that isn't ours and making it ours. So the thing is, we don't have to be egotistical about it. We don't have to be assholes about it. We can be humble in what we do because we're not provided a product that we desire. So we'll get it ourselves. That's fine. But a little humility in what we're doing and a little understanding that what we are doing is there is
I think so.
There is a dark side to.
Yeah. Jimmy, do you think the hobby should go dark?
No, I don't think we need to go dark. I just what everybody's saying is I think people just need to be smarter about how they're doing things. We have these groups, we flaunt our pages, and we want to be excited because we got these belts. But at the end of the day, like everyone said, it's somebody else's property. There's ways to do things, not go live, not blast things out. You have to be smart with what you're doing, with what we're doing, because one person or one group with what they can do can ruin everything that we have going on. There's Facebook Messenger. You can have a group. You could show your stuff on the Facebook Messenger. You could do all kinds of stuff, but you have to be smart about it. At the end of the day, they could shut everything down if they want to. They can see stuff at customs. It can go way more extreme than what it is now. Don't be stupid.
That is true. And my thing here is I plead with everyone. Cut the bullshit. I know it sounds silly, like Jay, you're just being goofy when it comes to the back page thing, but no, think about it. Did they shut down a page like Backpage? I know it's a prostitute thing. I was joking about that, but think about it. They were able to shut a whole page down. Imagine them not allowing Facebook groups like this, them not, having the Facebook groups go through a process, making it harder for you to have a Facebook group and be smarter, The belts I get, I only have one in my collection right now, but the belts I get, I never get them to resell them. I always get them for me. And this infighting between people needs to stop. We're literally grown men, and no one here on this screen, different people outside of this screen, have ever had a problem with, because we're all grown men. We respect each other. Some of us have a dark sense of humor with things that we know who we can talk to, and have all these different conversations that we don't even just talk about belts and wrestling. We have life stories. We have all these different things that we go to. I consider some of these people my family, my actual family. Family is not who you're born to, it's who you choose, who makes you happy, who's there for you. I can say these guys here are my family. And it's very important for us to stick. We don't have to get along. We don't. We don't have to get along, but I think we can coexist and be smart, because then we won't have a hobby to come back to. And I think that would be sad, because there are so many good people here. And we may all have our differences, maybe politics, maybe different ways of life. But the one thing that brings us together is leather, metal, and paint. And we should not allow leather, metal, and paint to destroy us. Remember this. If we don't get our shit together, like I said in my last post, they will do it for us. United we stand, divided we will fall. It may sound dramatic, but those are the facts. I want to thank the co-host of the Belt Outcast, Mr. Andy Bulger, for being on with us. Our good friend Ethan Thompson, who continues to be on here on Get the Strap. You will see him soon in other roles as well. Mr. James Taylor, you have been magnificent tonight. Good sir, I am going to have you come back because you are great. So is everyone else. Andy,
Appreciate it.
Ethan, Mike Jones, I'll see you later in bed. I love you. So let me get these guys off the screen. Thank you so much. I love you too, Ethan. Stop. I love you. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Thank you for everyone coming on. John, I appreciate the kind words. Joe, thank you so much. We do this for you guys. And thank you so much for your time, for spending your Friday nights with us. And we will see you next month on the 30th of April, where we discuss the WCW Television Championship. Thank you so much. Have a good night.